definitely there. You can hear the influence. But yeah, so you've got the record, which is coming out, and then you've co-written this massive hit, Bleeding Love, for Leona Lewis with One Republic's Ryan Tedder. How did that whole opportunity come about?
Yeah, well, we got into the studio initially to write for my album, and before Ryan Tedder was One Republic's Ryan Tedder, he was just Ryan, this writer, and he sorry, like doorbell's ringing, it's throwing me off. It was one of those records that we went in, and I knew of him because he was a great writer, and I had heard some of his stuff before, and we got in, started writing together, and ironically, the only song we wrote together was Bleeding Love. Hey, how's it going? Oh, okay, cool, man. Come on in. Sorry, man. And so I just started, when we were writing, it came out, and I think we both kind of decided that it was a little bit more of a female record and wasn't going to work, so we just kind of pushed it aside, and Clive and Simon Cowell got their hands on it and really wanted it for Leona, and we always knew it was a solid record. It was really a nice record, something new and fresh, hadn't been said before, but we never expected it, man, to do what it did, and certainly it had a big hand in making that happen, too, with those vocals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So what's it like hearing someone else singing your song on the radio?
It's insane, man. You never get... First of all, I've never had that happen before. I've had my records on the radio and hearing my records on the radio, and that's great and nice, but hearing a song that's done so well that you wrote, it's not even you, but you wrote it, it's a whole new feeling. It's different. I've never had that happen, so I'm really excited, man, and it's definitely, Simon has opened a lot of doors for me now as a writer, and definitely plan on getting back in the studio with Ryan Tedder and to write some more stuff.
Yeah. Have you written any other songs for an artist in mind or for someone specifically?
Yeah, I'm in the process right now writing a bunch of songs, and Paula Deanda's putting out a new record, so I think I've got some stuff for her, and I'm just going to continue writing, and certainly in my mind I've got people that I'm writing for, and at the end of the day, you pitch it, and if it works, it works. But like I said, Bleeding Love certainly opened a lot of doors where people will now maybe at least give it a listen and pay attention, you know what I mean, as opposed to just tossing it to the side of their desk.
Yeah.
It solidifies you. It feels good,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So you've got the music seems to be popping off pretty well, and also acting. Clearly, you've been doing acting forever. Just did the voice for Theodore and Alvin and the Chipmunks. Let's talk about that. What was it like to do a voice for a cartoon animal?
It was cool, man. I've always been a fan of animation. I've always been a fan of cartoons, and I grew up every Saturday morning watching Alvin and the Chipmunks on my couch, sprawled out with a bowl of cereal. And it was when Fox called me and asked me to be a part of it, I was enthralled. It was almost intimidating, just because the Chipmunks are held to such a high standard. They're like an American classic. I didn't want to screw it up, but I went in there and it was really, really fun, and we had a great time. I got to work with Justin Long and Jason Lee and Matthew Gray Gubler. It was a fun cast, and we had a great time.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Was it strange to watch the movie and knowing that your voice was in it, but that you yourself were completely unrecognizable?
I'm sorry. Say that. Can you say that one more time?
Yeah. Is it weird watching a movie where you know that your voice is in it, but you're completely unrecognizable?
Yeah, it was pretty weird. Some people could say they could hear certain inflections that they, people who've known me for years, that they say that they could, they had to be told it was me, and then they could hear it. But there's no way you could hear, you could just pick somebody out like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was really weird. It was strange and awkward for when you're hearing your voice as one of the Chipmunks. I don't know, it's pretty surreal.
Yeah, definitely. So what about other films? Do you plan on acting in anything live action in the near future?
Absolutely. This year has been tough in the film, for me because I've made some pretty big sacrifices film-wise, and I'm sure there's some of my agents out there are ready to strangle me because this record has definitely taken the front seat right now. But definitely into '09, there's some stuff on the horizon and more film to come. Absolutely next year.
Excellent. What about the small screen? Do you plan on ever going back to television?
Possibly. I really want to focus more than on film. I feel like I've done the TV thing. And I want to stay as versatile as I can.
Yeah, definitely. So, just to wrap it up, some general questions. Clearly, all this stuff, you're constantly in the public eye. Does it ever get to be too much for you or too difficult to deal with?
Man, living in LA, maybe it's a little bit more difficult because it's everything is so with the media, everything is so sensationalized that it just sucks, because there are things that go on that are just so untrue, and it's just not fun, and you kind of have to take it with a grain of salt, and you just kind of have to deal with it because media and paparazzi, all that shit comes with the package, comes with the entertainment industry, and unfortunately living in LA, I'm surrounded by it. So it's a little disheartening seeing some of the things that go on, especially like in young Hollywood. But the biggest outlet for me, man, is just writing and staying busy and working my ass off, I feel like as long as I do that, I can deal with the other shit,
Yeah, definitely. Clearly there's bad parts. What's the best part of being an entertainer?
Man, the fans and being able to travel the world. Those two things are, if I didn't have the fans, I wouldn't be able to travel the world. So I guess it's cliche, but it really does mean, like, honestly, I think about it more and more, and they pay my bills. I'm able to live well and do what I love because they are supporters of me and my music, and they've always have been. So that's a really big plus. And, traveling has opened my eyes to a whole new world and a whole new perspective on life. Seeing how other people live and soaking up all that culture is, I don't care how many years at a university you can do. I've never went to college, but it's nothing you can read in a textbook. It's one of those things that very few people get to do, and I'm just really blessed and grateful that I get the opportunity to travel the way I do because it's insane.
Yeah. Well, speaking of traveling, do you have a tour in the works for the new album?
I do have a tour in the works. Hopefully we'll be out by the end of this year, hopefully by the fall into winter. And, what I really want to do is let this record settle, have a couple singles out before I head out there, so people are the fans settle and everyone gets used to this new sound. But I'm going to give them a little dose of that in the next couple of weeks because I am doing all these radio promotional shows that are coming up. One is Z100, Zootopia, and the Chicago show. There's a KISS show in Boston. So, that'll be the first time I'm performing this new material live, too. I'm a little kind of anxious.
Well, excellent. Yeah, well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it'll be great. I'm really, like I said, I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, excellent. Well, congrats on all the success, and thanks for taking the time out to talk with us.
Anytime, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, all right. Well, good luck.
Thanks, brother. Ciao.
All right, bye.